music. God damn it. It's very dramatic and spooky. A little bit spooky, is it? No, it's more kind of the wonder of God. What's spooky is that Eyes Wide Shut music. That fucking bizarre thing from The Masked Ball. I put a thing on Instagram. We'd all like to be rich, right? What would you do if you're rich? Oh, I'd buy a Ferrari. I'd buy a Lamborghini. I'd buy a yacht. I'd pay off all the bills, and my friends' and family's bills. I'd help everybody out. Meanwhile, actual billionaires. Orgies in big mansions. And Philip Manning, look, with his PayPal straight in. Thank you, brother. Legend. Straight in with the PayPal. The Timeless Watch Channel at gmail.com is the PayPal address. The Timeless Watch Channel at gmail.com. And then if you're very generous, and I'm someday throwing my masked party here in Venice in a big palazzo with candles, naked women everywhere, you'll get invited. The password, of course, is Fidelio. Benny Hill, the Irish Negroni. Yeah, did you see that going around social media? It's a Negroni with draft Guinness on top. Apparently it's really good. I gotta try it. The Irish Negroni. Why not? Hey, it's already got 3 very powerful ingredients. You may as well throw another one in. Well, Guinness isn't powerful, but I'm sure it makes a nice. There was the black velvet thing. Champagne and Guinness, a very nice drink. I quite enjoy one of those. That's a brave promise, Bacchus. You know that's where I'm going to wind up, right? The whole Venice thing, you know. Eventually, it'll be masked parties. And you know I'll be the guy in the red with the staff. They take off their robes. I'll do the singing. Such a wild scene. Of course, everyone's saying now that there were 25 minutes cut from that film. Because apparently he was trying to let people know about what goes on. There's so many now saying, you know what? Princess Diana was onto it. Anthony Bourdain wanted to make an episode revealing it. I think that's what happens to these people. They become mega famous and influential, or rich, or both. And then eventually they start getting invited to these fucking freaky parties. I will talk watches, but hey, we may as well start on some dark, horrible stuff. Why not? Before I do that, let me cut a cigar, because my brother was asking me about cutting cigars. He's getting into cigars. And he picked up a couple of nice ones. I was like, do you have a cutter? Because he smokes the Toscanos, which I'm actually in the middle of one right now. I'm just coming back from the center. People are in masked costumes right now. It's Carnivale. It's summer. People aren't freezing to death in New York. It's summer. Um, so I just got on the boat and I lit. There was no boat. I missed the boat, so I was like, I'll light up a cigar. And then another boat came, and I'm like, damn. So I kind of just stub it out and hold it in my, because you can't smoke a cigar on the public boat here. You could get away with it because you're out in the open. You could puff it out onto the canal. It would probably look really cool, but it's not. You can't do that. So I gotta hold it in my hand. Here's another PayPal. Somebody wants to come to my Eyes Wide Shut party. Apparently. Ooh, big one. Kieran. Legend. Kieran's great. He's just like a nice person. He's fucking just nice people. These people in your life that you could never have an argument with. Lots of people rolling in. That was fast. Faster than usual. They probably think I'm going to shit all over Adrian Barker's new watch, which I am. No, I'm not. Not at all. But we'll get to it. Yes. So my brother was, because he smokes Toscanos, so you don't need to cut them. But of course, when you go to a real cigar, this is a Romeo and Julieta. You do need to cut it. And he was like, can I use a sharp kitchen knife? I'm like, it better be really fucking sharp. The problem is you might crush the end, You can't use the scissors. Never make that mistake. Never try to use the scissors. You need a cutter. You don't have to buy the most expensive cutter. You can get one of the cheap ones at the counter. This is an okay one. This isn't cheap, but it's not solid gold or anything. So I just want to show, most of you guys know how this is done. There's 3 ways of cutting a cigar. There's the way I'm going to do right now, just a flat cut, like that. Then there's the V cut. You need a V cutter, which cuts a V shape in. That's a special tool. Or there's the puncher, little round thing. It's pretty handy to keep on your key ring. And that punches a hole right in there and then removes a hole. It's just so air can get through. Punchers you can't cheap out on, because a cheap puncher will only last you a couple of punches because they get dull very quickly. So you can't get a cheap, well, you can get one just for once or twice or whatever. And punchers are good. They don't, you don't risk messing up the cigar like you do with a flat cutter. Anyway, the important thing I just want to get this out of the way because I know my brother's probably watching and probably waiting to smoke his cigar. So I don't want to hold him back. He's probably already done it. But anyway, the misconception is it's not the full covenant. It's not a bris. You're not a moil. Okay. You're not cutting the head off the most. You're not, as Maimonides said, you're not seeking to dull the sexual experience. It's barbaric that people still do that shit, by the way. But you're literally just taking the very, very head off the cigar. Just that bit there. Now, some of these flat cutters have a back on them. They've only one side. So that's easy. You can just lean it in the back and you can't overshoot. Whereas with this, you can completely overshoot, So I'm literally going the very, very, very tip. Sorry, I need to concentrate. Just enough to reveal the end. So you can see what's peeking through there. Oh, shit. I'm trying to balance this so I can show you. You can see it's just shit. Where's the fucking camera? This amount, very small amount. So here we go. Let's get this over and done with. Mazel tov. And now the blood runs out, and the Moyle, with his big filthy dandruff beard, does a little bit of a sucky Suckerton. It's grotesque. Look up the stats of how many infections there are throughout America every year. It's not a trained physician. He's not the most sensitive part of your newborn child's body. What a great idea. Now, as for lighting it, listen, we all use especially if you're outdoors, you want to use your old jet. But that's the quick and easy way. Otherwise, a piece of cedar from the box. If you open any cigar box, there's a piece of cedar usually. You can roll that up and use that. Or get yourself some cigar matches. Look how fancy these are. They're very royal. Eyes wide shut. Or you can get one of these big monsters. These are like for lighting candles. That thing will last forever. Because that's the problem with matches. They burn faster than you want them to. Hey, I don't even need to use my lighter because look what I got behind me. Ooh. You want to get around the whole head. The hottest part of the flame is just beyond the tip of the flame. You can't actually see it. Spin the cigar. So you get a nice even light. That was a very brief version, but I got a shoulder one here, kids. How's it look? Is it even? It's fairly even. That's the important thing. At first, you can hold the cigar down so it burns upward, but later you're going to start leveling out, and eventually you're going to start doing this because you want the ash to stack up. Andy Dufresne's favorite cut is straight cut. Flow of the smoke, air is best. You know, I tend to agree with you. Though when I was in Miami that time at that cool cigar bar, that was probably my favorite thing in Miami was that fucking cigar bar. Just the cigar culture in that town is great. Say what you want about that place, but fuck me, they know their cigars. So, yeah. So I went in and I chose one. You can smoke inside as well, which is cool. Big leather seats, Chesterfields and stuff. Great. But I was outside. And she's like, how would you like that cut? And she brings it out on an ashtray and everything. I was like, oh, this is what I need in my life. I need this bar. I need this bar just down the street here in Venice. This is nice. Yes, Pierre prefers the punch. He's a punch guy. Pinch or punch. Punch the salt. Stuart, rocking the Breguet. Yeah, I've been enjoying this Breguet Tourbillon. You all want to see it? You want to see the box for this thing? It's a work of art. Breguet don't fuck around with their boxes, guys. It's like a piece of beautiful furniture. Big heavy walnut thing. Yes, this is a Breguet Tourbillon. Actually, the best part of it, I should show you, is the back. That's the best part. She's fucking this guy, but she's actually married to some other guy, some hotshot banker. And he's the one they pinned it on. Look at that back. Hand engraved, no two alike. Solid gold. The dial is also gold. It's just silvered. After they do the guilloche, which is an insane process with a huge machine, they silver it. So it's not white. Although it appears white. Kind of. Yeah, kind of loving this one. I do have watch news. And I hope I don't break anyone's heart. Let me have a drink first. I sold the Cartier Drive. And no, it's so gorgeous. When I got the Cartier Drive, I was lacking just a beautiful, simple, elegant, classy dress watch in the collection. Full of Rolex sports and the APs and heavy hitters. And I was like, I really just haven't had just a nice dress watch, something respectful. What if I have to, God forbid, I have to go to a funeral or something? I can't wear a fucking solid gold Rolex. I look like a dickhead. Or an AP. Like, AP is far too aggressive. It's a somber moment. Or a wedding. It doesn't have to be something morbid. So it really worked well for me. But then I came into all these dress pieces, all these stunners, including the square, the Vacheron Square, and the Vacheron Chrono, which I have here. And I'm like, when am I ever going to put on this Cartier now? If I'm going to wear one of these elegant things. Because gold might be loud, but when it's done in an elegant way, So I was just like, you know what? So it's gone. 4,500 euros. It's a bit more than I paid for it, actually. A little bit. I'll miss it. Time flies looking good. Looking good. My sleeve is all over the place. I'm trying to drag my diet back into shape. But thank you. It's a nice thing to say. Nick Nightingale, yes, Andy. I play blindfolded. Yes, it turns out this is what the rich and famous do. It's fucking terrible. One of my heroes is in the Epstein Files. Not for what you think. Norman Finkelstein. I love that guy. Fucking legend. And he's in there. And this is why. They called him. They contacted him. Because he's a big voice, in that world. He'll call out the Mossad and all. So I guess they were trying to honeypot him, like, hey, come on out to our island. Come to our party. And, drug him and then fucking push some 12-year-old girl in the room, get the photos, and then go, all right, Norman, you have to shut up now about the West Bank because now we've got something on you. Well, you know what his response was? He's like, I'm not coming to your fucking island or your party. I think Jeffrey Epstein and Alan Dershowitz should be strangled. That was his answer. Ah, sounds like me, doesn't it? Me and Norman, we could get along. Doesn't pull any punches. Beautiful. I was like, fuck, what a legend. But the truth is, if you haven't been paying attention, and maybe you've just been holding your hands over your ears, going la la la, it's not true. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Pedos, they're all pedos, killing kids, raping kids, all of them, including very, very much so the orange monster. He should be beaten to death. Horrific details. Horrific. As a father, I'm sure, because people are like, oh, impeachment, and we need trials, and we need investigation. They're looking for stuff that is subpoenaable, in the. Otherwise, there's a lot of stuff that's just hearsay. It could be just someone joking around, whatever. They may have actually found a couple of things already. But can we all agree, any fathers, I mean, you don't need to be a father to have a heart, but if you do, can we all agree what we'd like to do is what should have been done? Is someone go into that house and with a sledgehammer? What do you do with men who do that to young girls? What do you do? Their heads should have been cracked open, every last one of them. Sick men. What is it about? What is it when you become a billionaire, you get into kids? Is that a thing that happens? You're building up your riches, your wealth. $1 billion is a lot of money. There's a big difference between millions and billions. A really big difference. Do you go over to check your bank account, and when it reaches that number, do you just all of a sudden start looking up 7-year-olds on it? What is the fucking? I don't get it. It's a strange crime because it stands outside of normality. Like when you hear about somebody who robbed money, and they got caught, well, you're like, okay, good. But you can relate because we all like a little money, right? So you can see why they would do it. Maybe you wouldn't do it yourself, but you can see why they would do it, right? Or some guy kills his wife or something, or his wife's lover. Andy Dufresne, there you go. And that's the best part. You come home, your wife's with some guy. Crime of passion. We can relate. We can imagine ourselves perhaps in that place. We hope we never are, but the problem with this kind of stuff is can anyone, if you can relate to that crime, if you're thinking in your head, yeah, I'd like to sleep with 2 12-year-olds, but it's against the law, so in that case I won't. If you have those thoughts, please kill yourself. Please do that, please. Don't make us stoop as a society and have to do it for you. Just get your favorite bottle of wine, eat your favorite meal, and then hug your family, and then find a cliff and walk straight off it. Because you're a broken machine, man. You're a broken machine. There's all these beautiful over 18-year-old women out there. You have to look at I just can't fucking get my head around it. But yes, as a father, You think of your own little angel, forget about it. It's not even to be considered. John M. Anderson, left and right, most of them are corrupt. Yeah. Oh, yeah, both sides. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. See, this is when you have to start holding the cigar kind of upward, so it stacks up. It's very impressive on fatter cigars when they have a bigger ring gauge, and it stacks up. It looks like old books or something. It's nice, but then you look silly because you have to puff like this, Bob's like a man of wealth and power corrupts men and women. Well, we know what Ghislaine Maxwell was doing. She's the architect of that. She has to testify soon. But she's not going to point any fingers at who, because they already moved her. They moved her out of her prison, moved her to a nicer place. I think they got her a puppy dog and everything. I know what conversation happened. They flew out there. Pam Bondi went out there. That fucking wretched witch. And said, listen, you're in here for the rest of your life. So how about when the shit hits the fan, you have to testify. You say it was all Bill Clinton. And Donald never did anything. And we'll reduce your sentence considerably. You'll get a pardon in a couple of years. How about that? Think she's not going to take that offer? You think Ghislaine Maxwell has moral fiber that she's going to go, it's very tempting, but I have to tell the truth. I really do. I can't sleep at night. This is a woman who was the architect of that pedophile ring for years. She took that offer, man. She was like, hell yeah. Just tell me what you want me to say. But I think I'm just going to knock this ash so I don't have to deal with it. I think what's crazy is, there's a lot of those conspiracy theorists. We were mentioning that last week, right? Who we thought were a little kooky, who now deserve an apology. What's next? The flat earthers? Are they going to come out with something going, actually, there is evidence to be? Oh, my God. You mean I have to apologize to that flat earther now? Oh, God. It's worse. It's worse than I even thought. And you can imagine how bad I thought it was. It's even worse than I thought. I know I'm making light of this and I'm laughing. But it's no laughing matter, guys. Half the world is run by complete and utter devious monsters. And maybe the biggest one, or definitely one of the biggest ones, has the nuclear codes. But I'll never blame him. I keep saying it. I don't have a problem with him. He was honest, wasn't he? He was upfront. He didn't say about those particular things, but the video came out about him grab women didn't stop people from voting. They're the people you have to blame. And you should. They should never sleep another comfortable night in their life, the rest of their lives. Some of them are in the audience. May you know no peace, and may God have mercy on your soul. Because you knew he was a perverted fuck. You just didn't care. All right, that's enough dark shit. Now let's talk watches. I just watches. Stuart Ghislaine Maxwell is as corrupt as her father. Yeah, her father was Robert Maxwell. He apparently died on a boat. I don't think that really happened. And he worked for Mossad and for Russia. By the way, if anyone tries to convince you, because I know Fox News and so on are going to try their best, they're going to break their legs trying to bend over, break their back, I should say, trying to bend over and skew this one and turn it into a Russiagate thing. That it's the Russian. It's not a Russian thing. The Russians are, I'm sure, were getting their feet dirty as well. It's an Israeli thing. Of course it is. Give me a fucking break. But yes, he worked for Mossad. And if you don't think Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad, you need a very long look in the mirror. London Rob 2020. 10 British pounds. Is there are a lot of, I assume you didn't mean that. There are a lot of people who refuse to listen to the truth. Oh yeah, we live in that reality. Hey, it's all AI. It's all invented by the Dems. Oh yeah. They'll chase their tail for fucking days doing that. President of the United States is a murderer, a child murderer and a child rapist. It's indisputable. They redacted certain parts. Did you see that? Apparently the redactions were to protect the victims. But there are emails, disgusting emails, where they're redacting the sender and the receiver. We know who they're protecting. Why you redact? That's not a victim. Why redact that name? You leave the Epstein, the receiver, or the sender, depending. Why are you redacting the sender? Who are you protecting? Let me take a wild guess. But you fucking deserve it, as I said. The fact that even 4 people voted for that dude, 2.5 people voted for that dude, is a fucking miracle to me. It's a miracle. Instead, it was 78 million or something. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Horrific. I just watched a film the other night. You Were Never Really Here with Joaquin Phoenix, and he's a hitman. It was a film that kind of went unnoticed. I wonder, is it because of what it reveals in there? And one of his jobs is he has to go get some senator's kid or something. And he stakes out this townhouse in Manhattan. And eventually figures out how he's going to get in to save the kid, little 10-year-old kid. Goes in with a hammer. It's great. You're just like, yeah, beat the fucking shit out of these fucking perverts, man. It's great. He's all fat in it. He looks completely different to Joker. If you're feeling frustrated, which I'm sure you all do, because the truth is, there's nothing we can do about these people. Nothing will happen. They're way too powerful. All we can do is talk about it. I mean, unless you feel like getting into a plane and flying it into a building or something, or strapping a bomb to your chest. Ask anyone in the Middle East where they got that idea. Why are you so desperate? I'm desperate because ... because this is all I've got. So unless you feel like doing that, there is nothing you can do, which is why I'm the ultimate pessimist, with this stuff. Drink the wine, smoke the cigars, O'Malley, and shut up, because the children will be abused and the countries will be annexed and the land will be stolen. And the people, the terrorists, right? They'll be jailed or slaughtered. And a partridge in a pear tree. There's nothing you can do. But if you do feel frustrated and you want to get a little bit of out, watch You Were Never Really Here with Joaquin Phoenix. Because the scenes in that there, you're just like, thank God, yes, go in there. Fucking beat them with your hammer. He could get a gun. He has a gun. He's a hitman. But he doesn't want the gun. He wants to go in with a hammer. He's in the hardware store and he picks out a hammer. You're just like, oh, fuck. This is beautiful. Wasn't violent enough. I wish they would show the director. She's Australian, I think. She's kind of arty, so you're seeing him step over bodies that are lying there. So she cuts out a lot of the violence. She's kind of artistic because that's gratuitous. But hell, don't protect me. I want to see the fucking pervert naked running out of the room as you chase him down the hallway and crack his fucking disgusting skull open. I want to see that. Let me open another bottle of wine. Let's do it. Where's the popcorn? You sick fucks. Anyway, that's the news, guys. That's the news. Other news, AP releases. Now, while I have you on the horrific pedophile ring that is so beyond terrible, and these people are in such incredible power that you put them into, some of you helped get them there. Well done. That's it's kind of unbearable to think, and you're left with either laughing at it or just try your best to deny it and say there's no place like home. It's not true. It's not true. Well, I have you on that. Let's look at AP. Now, there was some news in the watch world. There's a lot of interesting news in the watch world. AP, of course, are close to my heart. I do have a kind of an open invitation to the AP house. Excuse me. What's going on? In Milan whenever I want. So I'm interested. First of all, they put this thing out. I think there's only 2 or something. So it's great to marvel at, but it's unacquirable. But it's a big, crazy pocket watch. In the more attainable area of things, one thing I thought was first of all, can we talk about the Neo Frame? I'm not into these jumping hour watches. I don't like the Cartier one. To me, these watches look like they're in prison. It looks like a watch. It's like you're out in freedom and the watch is inside a cell looking out its little window at you. It looks torturous to me. Not this one, but the Cartier one in particular. Let me pull that one up. And other ones. Didn't Nico Leonard do one? It just looks depressing. It looks... am I the only one who feels this? Doesn't it look... let me get a better pic of this for you. Oh, come on, internet. By the way, can you hear this tourbillon ticking away? It's one of the first watches I've ever owned that I can audibly hear the thing across the room ticking. Listen to that. Beautiful. Well, this is on Why did AliExpress come up? Whatever. I'll take it. But do you see these? Look at that. Look how dystopian that looks. I can't find the beauty in the Jumping Hours watches. It's like Hannibal Lecter with the thing with the frame around his face to keep his mouth closed. Whatever. It's like that, isn't it? I don't know why people have a passion for this. That looks like East Berlin in 1970 or so. Like, I don't want to look at that. No, that's something else. Doesn't it look like it's in prison? It's a prison watch. But AP, leave it to them, made it sexy. How the fuck did they manage that? This is the Neoframe Jumping Hour. So they had a Jumping Hour watch way back in the 20s or 30s. So this is a revisit. But they actually made it kind of sexy. It doesn't look as depressing. Can we start there? Somehow they removed the depressing from a Jumping Hour watch. I can actually hear this watch all the way from here. Like it's down on the table. Beautiful thing. How much is this thing? Does anybody know? Do they even have a price? I'm scared. It's 65 grand. That's actually not too bad. It's rose gold. It is AP. I believe it has the same movement as the Royal Oaks have. 8.8 millimeters. That's nice. So there was that. Listen, I wouldn't buy one. I'm not that interested. I'm just fascinated that they were able to take this very, I said it, depressing design and turn it into something kind of unusually sexy and luxurious. Well done. Well done, AP. Give me hope again. Because they've been putting out some weird shit. And then, of course, there was the offshores, which, of course, I'm going to be sensitive to because I was allocated one from the AP boutique. So they have this new sexy one here. The offshore divers. Let me go straight to them. This one's a new one. That's one of the big ones, the 44s with the big pushers. It's nice. But let me get to the ones that I care about, okay? So as you know, I own this one. I have APs, but I never bought any of them at the boutique. This was the first that they were like, okay, we're giving you that. And that was my meal ticket. That's how I got in with AP now because of that. That's why I can have Negronis for free anytime I'm in Milan on the rooftop because of that watch. And yeah, it's beauty. It's very me. It's the Fidel, right? Isn't that what people call it? And that came also in a blue, which I really like too. I wouldn't say no to the blue. And blue's gorgeous. The least desirable of the three was the gray, which was this one. Still gorgeous, but, the least desirable. The green was what everyone was after. So they put out some new ones, starting with this on a white strap. And I don't know. Black with a pink. Black and pink is a strange. Mm, I don't know how I feel about that. That was a little strange to me. Meh. And then a turquoise, bright, loud one. Also meh, but probably a great summer watch. And then my favorite of the three new ones. They already had a blue, which is this one on the left, on the bottom left. They put out this one, which is a different kind of blue. It's got a little greeniness in it. It's like a teal, right? Not quite blue, different kind of blue. And gold, rose gold accents. Because if you notice on the previous blue one, the accents are, the hands and the crown up here and so on. These are in white gold. Very, very beautiful. But that's why a lot of people wanted my one, the green one, because it was the only one that had gold indices, hands, gold hardware around here, rose gold. So they added that to this blue and made the blue kind of tealish. And that's actually kind of nice. I think this is the one everyone's going to be after. Do you concur? It's actually really nice. Before you're allocated a regular Royal Oak, you'll probably be allocated one of these. They'll offer you code 1159s for years. And if you buy one or two of them, then they'll eventually offer you one of these. The end of the road is one of the, perpetual calendar Royal Oaks or something. Anyway, and I'm not going to go through all the different stuff that they put out, but here's the weird, interesting thing to me. So this thing is 30,200 euros. Okay. Whereas the previous ones, the blue, the green, they are all 30,009. There's a 700 euro difference. Why? But why? I have to do a Werner Herzog. They assured me that if we caught him and brought him back to the group, he would immediately turn toward the mountains. But why? That's an awful fucking Werner Herzog. Sorry, I'm off my game tonight. But why? Yeah, why? Like, why are these seven? These are the new ones. Why is the cork on the fork? Surely they should be the same price or even a little bit more because they're the new ones. What are you up to, guys? I don't get it. Let me see what the people in the comments are saying because I'm ignoring the chat. You know how you get me to not ignore the chat? I'll give you 3 guesses. On the first 2 don't count. Mark Brooklyn, Elon is the biggest one. He isn't. Turns out, which for me is probably the silver lining on the cloud, on the very dark cloud, is that there are emails of him going, so when's the next big party and when can I come out? And they're like, ugh, they don't want to hang out with him. He's a fucking knob end. It's great. They don't want to know him. There's like, he reaches out and goes, on Christmas Day of all days, you're supposed to be spending it with your kids. When's the next big party? And Epstein forwarded the email to an assistant saying, deal with this. They don't want him around. He wasn't even good enough, cool enough to be at their pedo parties. That's how fucking pathetic that loser is. I hate that prick. So yeah, he's somewhat guilty, but he's not as guilty as the others. Nowhere near it. The teal one is phenomenal. RJH. I agree. I think that's like, if I'm not after another. I have the green. I'm happy. But if I were after one, that's the one I'd be after. Right there. There it is. Of who do you refer? Those we don't speak of. There it is. There's a quote for you guys. I love this. Look, plan an appointment. AP are just like, Rolex were getting snooty and disregarding their potential customers and the ultra snobbery and so on. And AP are like, hold my beer, watch this. You have to give the password at the door. You want this watch? You have to put on a Venetian mask and go through an initiate. Go see Nick Nightingale playing in the West Village of Manhattan. Get the password before you're even considered. That's the one everyone will want. If anyone gets one, can you please reach out to me and just tell me what it's like? Like, take some regular photos with your phone. I'd love to see that, because these are all, oh God, I hate these websites. Like, this is a fucking computer, AI build or something of it. Accurate, of course, but I'm not looking at a photo of the watch. I want to see a photo of the watch with the rain on it and someone's wrist on a boat, or something like that. Crikey. Microbiologist. Patek is even worse. I know. Patek aren't. And it just gets worse and worse. It's like, the lull in the market doesn't faze these fuckers at all. They don't give a shit about it. Johnny Boy Scotland. Have you seen the Adrian Barker? It's called the 15, the Green 15. It's called. I've seen his video. I'll talk about that. Everyone thinks I'm going to shit on his watch. I'm not going to shit on his watch. It seems like a decent watch. He's trying to sell a watch. I've done the same. In fact, why don't I put on one of my watches? Because I have two. Utah, get me two. I don't have the Faraday Prua here. They were all shipped out, but I have the. These are way cheaper. It's much more fun. It's not as serious stuff. But the dials are real stone. This one's Tiger Eyes is probably my favorite. And these are available on OceanValleyChannel.com. This is not doing the dial justice because it changes color depending on the angle. And there's also the turquoise one. That's a real piece of turquoise right there. Hey, they're nice. They're cute. Stick one on. Hey, it's a lot more affordable. And it's a real watch. And so is my Faraday Prua. I did a collab. It was with my friend here in the store, historic store in Venice. Maybe I'll collab with a bigger brand at some point in the future. That's fine if it happens. Why not spruik your own shit, O'Malley, for a second? Give me a minute and let me just do this. So this is that's them. There they are. Now you can see, you see the way, that's the same watch I just had on. You see the way the sunlight is catching the stone. And then there's the malachite, the green one. I don't think I have one of those here. There's the turquoise blue. These are beautiful summer watches. Boom, boom, boom. All real stone. That one's no longer available. If you got one of those, you're one of the lucky ones. Because marble is just too expensive and hard to work with. So they're gone. And that's based on the marble of the front of the Cadoro, which is what these watches are. They're based on Cadoro. You see that arch there? Oops. That arch shape is what you see on the dial. See it? And so there's 745. And then this beast is the Fer di Prua. This is a monster. This is a serious thing. I was 300 meters water resistance and all that. SW200. It's not that different to Adrian's. His is a bit better as a watch, but it's a lot more money. He has the SW300, which is even nicer. But the theme here is, of course, Venice and the front of the gondola. Very important symbol for Venice. That's how you know Venezianico having the faintest fucking clue about Venice. Because they never put this on any of their watches. Like, all right, fellas, stop pretending. Until you can do your Venetian, your Margherita hours. Ciao, Morty. That's the R sound from Venice. Whereas most like Italians will say ciao amore. They say ciao amore because they have a funny R. That's specific. Until you have that, you ain't a fucking real Venetian, all right? This thing is for beating the living shit out of them. We put the crown off center so that the guys can do their rowing, you know. It's all about the rowing. And it's significant hunk of steel. As I've told you guys many times, beat the shit out of this thing. Put marks and dings in it. That's the whole point. Give it some character. That was their plan. Philip Morgan sent me a PayPal. Thank you, Philip Morgan. So let me talk about it because I know lots of you. Look at the Adrian Barker. You guys want me to talk about his watch? That's fine. First of all, it's about time, right? That he teamed up with a brand. I thought it would have been Bremont, right? Or something like that. But Christopher Ward, I think, is as good as any. I think it's a good brand. I like Christopher Ward. I've had a few of those in the house. I think they're solid watches, especially for the money. So that's good. Let me pull up the site. And I was thinking there's more in it for Christopher Ward than there is for Adrian himself. Because Christopher Ward have been trying to remain relevant on the watch market for a while. And now everyone's talking about them again. Mission accomplished, right? That's I'm sure what their main thing was. It's like, can we get one of these big YouTubers to because we're drowning here, you know? But what it did, and I suppose the proof is in the pudding, what it did is next thing I went because I watched this video, which I'll talk about in a moment, by the way, because I have a lot to say about that video. And then I clicked the link and I'm checking it out. I wanted to check out the price here in Europe, which is $2,850, nearly $3,000. And then I found myself browsing the Christopher Ward website. I haven't been on there in ages. And I started seeing really nice stuff. And I was like, oh, wow. Didn't know about this watch and that watch. And this is it. It's called the Green 15, right? Because the first 15 minutes on the bezel are green lume, distinct from the blue lume. It's very Adrian Barker. When you look at it, it's very him. Like he's a real tool watch guy, right? You won't find Adrian Barker with a Breguet 60, 67, 76, 70, 67 on his wrist. He's into tool watches, rugged, outdoorsy. His dad was in the RAF and all. Like he's into all of that military stuff. That's his thing. That's great. So anyway, I'm on here and they have suggestions down the bottom. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And I saw this. I was like, I want that watch. What the fuck is this? C63 Sealander Extreme GMT. I'm like, that's sexy. And then they have it on an orange strap. Ooh. And they're gargantuan lume. They basically use these huge chunks of lume rather than looming, like putting lume paint on the indice. The entire index or indices, the index piece is just a piece of lume, which is great if you give a shit about lume. Look at that. I'm like, I want this. That's nice. That's an everyday, that's a great summer watch as well for getting out there. And it's a GMT. I'm like, look at me. Here I am browsing Christopher Ward website. That wouldn't have happened had I not gone and looked at Adrian's video. So mission accomplished for Christopher Ward. And it's about $1,000 cheaper than Adrian's. Fuck. Okay. That's not good. And it's got the 330. It's essentially the same movement. It's just the GMT version. That's nice too with the kind of pale green, but I like the black. And the one on the orange, I need the XL. How much do they want? $16.95. If I don't get it on the bracelet, $16.95. Come on, that's what I thought. I was like, here I am browsing the website. They brought my attention. I don't give a shit about the loco. Sorry. The loco's $5,000. It's 5,200 euros. Get out of here. For 52, I'm buying a fucking Omega or a Tudor or something. Get out of town. Come on. I'm not spending 5,200 on a fucking Christopher Ward. Sorry. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I ignored them for the past while. But some of these tool watches I would be definitely into. So let me get back to the point. Let's look at Adrian's thing. So it's nice. Looks solid. Tool watch vibe. That's what he loves. They loomed the logo, which I thought is a bit strange. Because then it's very busy then loomed up. But fine. Find out more. Let me go over here. And you can get it on a strap or on the bracelet. On the bracelet, it's $28.50. So you're paying about €1,000 premium to have this particular one. Because they both got to make money, right? The company and Adrian have to make money. So that's what happens when you do that. It's a good looking watch. I mean, fine, yeah. The price, I suppose, is where people are going to begin to punch holes in it. It is made out of titanium, which is kind of cool. And it's an adventurer's watch. and it's rugged and durable. Sellita SW300. You know, my watches have the Sellita. Zero West have the Sellita. Sellitas are good. They're good, rugged workhorse movements. Nothing wrong with them. This one's very good. It's Kosk. So it's within the 10 seconds a day. Well within it, which is really nice. So that's good. That probably brought up the price. If I am to pick holes in it, you see, these loom shots are very exciting. The loom shot is great. That gets us all moist, doesn't it? But the truth is, how often do you see your watch loomed? It's fun to loom up your watch. But in the real world, how often do you see it looking like that? It's just rare. Tell the truth. You'll have your little LED thing and you'll just keep looming it up while you're sitting at your desk. Right? That's how you'll see the watch mostly. It's very monotone. If I'm to be critical, I would say it's like trying to be monotone. There isn't even any relief whatsoever from the monotone. It really leans hard into monotone. So there's not even, like, you see that sometimes with some watches that they have a pop of color, right? Like, I realize that thing is still here. I suppose I should sell it if anyone wants to buy it, because I did the review and they loved it. This Zelos thing. This isn't titanium and what is it, Damascus steel or whatever they call it. I still have it here. And this thing is $3,000 as well. And it looks very monotone until you see the little tiny accents of color, which I can't even fucking see right now. Yeah, some yellow in there. There's some yellow going on somewhere in there, and it's see-through, and it's, open works or whatever. And it's titanium and super durable and extremely slim. It's nice when they put in a little pop of color in there. Yeah, if anyone wants this, you can have it. It's just sitting there gathering dust. I'd rather someone wear it. They're happy with their review. Of course they are. See my fucking review? I made their watch. I did shots where you can't see the watch. All you can see is the canal, and then I focus pull and the watch appears. Come on. They pay some fucking company to do that. It cost them $50,000. Anyway, sorry. I'll get off my self-righteous pedestal here. Come back to this. So, yeah. But it's okay. If you're looking for something, basic and rugged, yeah. Why not? I think, again, I would be remiss if I didn't outline the fact that there are nicer watches from Christopher Ward that don't have his name on it and less money. Like that. That's a fucking gorgeous watch. Like, aesthetically, it's a GMT with an orange hand, which is very reminiscent of the Rolex, right? The Explorer 2. But aesthetically, I actually think that's nicer than an Explorer 2. Do I go to jail for saying that? And it's 1850. It's 80 on the bracelet. It's 1,900 in euros, and on the strap, it's even less. So, and look at that fucker loom, like a mad bitch. Oof. Hey, we're all talking about Chris Ward. Mission accomplished for Chris Ward, right? That's the whole point. All of a sudden, their website is being clicked on again. Thank God. The price point, I suppose, is the sticking point for a lot of people. I've noticed price points seem to be like a huge player, and I guess they should be, right? Hey, let me fucking shamelessly spruik my own stuff. My website is oceanamaticchannel.com. Here's the turquoise one. This is stone, real stone. There's that. Because there's Nomadic, right? So I work with Nomadic a lot. They're out of Belfast. And my God, they're doing so well. And I think the reason why is because this is just a guess, but I think it's because of their price point. They're solid watches. And I think young gentlemen who want a nice watch, they don't want a fucking Apple Watch on their wrist because those things are grotesque. And they don't have 12,000 to spend on a fucking Rolex. Well, maybe they do, but they're just like, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not. That's too much on a watch. We can understand that. Okay. Come on, we do. We understand. Even though we're guilty, we understand. I think a lot of these guys go, okay, my business is doing well. I just bought a car. I just put down, a deposit on a house. My wife is due in March. Gonna have a baby. I'm doing all right. I've got some money in the bank. It's time I stuck a watch on my wrist. And in their mind, they're thinking, I'll spend $1,000 or I'll spend 1,500. And voila, Peter appears from Nomadic Watches. I think that's what it is. I think there's a lot more fellas out there who are like, you know what? Looks fucking good to me. Looks like a Rolex or a Tudor. Looks fine. Rock solid. Don't need anything more than that. It sparkles like a super luxury watch anyway. So his watches are like, going from 1150 here up to 1200. His new one, which I just did a video on, the Chrono, is more. I think it's $3,000. You think I'd know? Yes, it's $3,000 in euros. I'm speaking in euros, guys. Just do the math. The one I have, the one that I continue to show people on Instagram, is this one. This is sold out, the Emerald Abyss. I knew that would be the more popular one. I think the next most popular one is the white one. But this is kind of on the high end of things. This is their big seller, I believe. And this is the first one I featured on my channel. This is the Marie 401. And it's a handsome dive watch. What's going on here? It's a very handsome dive watch. It is. And it's at that right price point, isn't it? Nice and simple. There's a no-date version as well. He didn't overdo it with the pricing, but he didn't underdo it either. I think that matters for a lot of lads too. They don't want to spend less than $1,000 because otherwise maybe they think they're getting something cheap. That might be a psychology thing going on. I don't know. I mean, they're assembled in Belfast and it's, they're a good, respectable company. So, you're supporting something good and they're going to take care of you and all of that. So the price of Adrian's is, yeah, it's pretty much $3,000, right? Unless you're working in pounds, that's a different thing. And that's I suppose the questions that people are going to ask. They're going to say, hold on, $3,000. If I just have a little bit extra, I have an Omega from Chrono, used or barely used, like new condition or whatever, or I have a Tudor. So that might be a sticking point for some, that they go, it's nice if it was $1,295, $1,400, I'd buy it. He will, of course, have his loyalists, like people who love his channel, who love him, his content, who will buy it just to support him and his channel. That's fine. That's understandable. But most others are going to go, I think they'll say, you know what? I need a fucking good old rugged adventurous watch because I'm going hiking in a couple of months and I want just something I can rely on, but I don't want to bring my Rolex, so maybe I'll buy this. But then they'll look at $3,000 and they might be, I don't know. So I wonder how much deliberating they did over the price point, because it does stick out from the rest of their watches. Let me check. Let me check what else they have here. Chris Ward are good, man. There's one that really looks like the Explorer 2. $1,365. C63 Sealander. That's like the one I was just looking at, but it has a steel bezel instead. And it has the SW330-2. They seem to be working with Sellita 330s. I'm gonna avoid the Belcanto and the Loco. I just think they're kind of crazy. Then they have a bronze one for $1,400. It's solid. Looks like the Belcanto gets crazy. They want a lot of money. They're trying to become Omega, these guys. What are they doing? Look at them trying to creep in the back door and fool us all. Come on, guys. You're a good watch brand, but come on. You're not Omega. Give me a break. Interesting. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Cigar. I do want to talk about Adrian's video real quick as well. I don't know if I should show it though, should I? He's not that petty. He might be. But I don't know. Okay, well, I won't show it then. You can go watch it. I just don't want to play with that because people are incomprehensible sometimes. The video is a great the video is fantastic. It's like a return to form. I'm always getting shit from you guys going, when are you going to do another Italian city with the classical music? I'm like, man, I'm trying. If someone were to have that complaint about him, it would be the same. It would be like, when are you going out in the field with your drone shots and because he's really good with a camera. He's really good. And I don't fucking say that lightly. You know that. There aren't many of us that can do decent shit with a camera. But he's one of them. For sure. And the video's beautiful. It's out in the Scottish Highlands. That's his back garden. Like, that guy could be filming that place every week and we'd all just be staring at it. I mean, I'm sure it's fucking freezing cold, but this is the pain you have to go through to make a good video. But it's like, it's all snow-covered tops and icy landscapes. It's It's marvelous. And he has gorgeous shots of the watch. And then, of course, he has his studio shots with all like zoom ins and all that are really crisp. And then, drone shots going over these fucking mountain tops. I'm like, this is the shit, man. This is great. He's really talented when it comes to that. Nearly as good as me. I'm kidding. I just had to put that in for the trolls. So the trolls can like start punching the wall. No, I really enjoyed the video. Leave aside the watch. I was just like, oh, this is so fucking nice just to see all this fucking nice cinematography again. And it's just good. The more people that do that, the more others will be inspired to do it. So that was it. That was a plus. Never mind the watch. It's just keeping that kind of standard high, because that means other YouTubers will be like, oh, fuck, look at that shit. Okay, well, I better go out and learn how to use a camera and a lens and try and put together a montage with music. Otherwise everyone gets lazy and the whole world turns into Brit Pierce. And we can all just walk off a fucking cliff like lemmings then. It's just the studio, with the lava lamp in the background or whatever, and a couple of shots on a fucking desk next to a plant or a camera, and a vintage camera just happens to be sitting on the desk, or whatever. This kind of fucking mundane shit. Like, bring the watch out into dangerous places. Stick it down. There's a couple of shots. I wish I could show you, but you can watch yourself. I just don't want to fuck around with that guy. He is, after all, a Brit. And we're just, as Irish, we're trained, no matter how nice they are, we're taught from a young age not to ever fully trust them. No offense, fellas. Sorry. But yeah, you should go and watch the video. And it's like, there's a shot where it's sitting on ice. That's what we want to see. Fucking cool. Like, the ice is slightly out of focus and the watch pulls into focus. There we go. Atta boy. Looking great. So, credit where credit's due. Fucking badass. Johnny Boy Scotland. Filmed in Glencoe. Why won't that come up on my screen? All of a sudden, oh, now it's back. Now it's working again. Filmed in Glencoe. I don't know Glencoe, but it's a beautiful part of the world. Scotland is magnificent. Hey, you got to use what you've got, and that's his back garden. I've seen his shots like over the lake and stuff, like flying the drone and stuff, and he doesn't overdo it, which is nice too, because people can overdo the drone. You got to be careful. I did some drone shit in my Ireland videos. To be real, it's very tempting to use a lot of drone because it's so sexy. It's like, wow, this fucking thing is flying up in the middle of the sky. It's real easy to make your video look good if you use drone footage. But if you just pull it back a little and just use it tastefully, now you're onto something. It's the difference between good art and great art. Glencoe, well, beautiful place. Is there a whiskey they make up there, Johnny Boy? I'm sure there is. Daniel Katz, good to see you, man. I hate, quote, affordable pieces are shitters. Well, that's an Archie thing. Unfortunately, people took Archie seriously. He doesn't take himself seriously, but people do. I was watching Archie today for the first time in ages. I watched an old Archie video where he's talking about Breguet, Type 20 or Type 21, because I like that watch too. And now I'm on the Breguet thing, you know. And it was so fun. I forgot how fucking fun Archie is. He's a funny bastard. Oh, Johnny Boy says I was in Skyfall. Okay, I remember that film. What else was I going to put on? By the way, I should mention that the cigar I'm smoking is from Alistair, who's a viewer who sent me a box of these cigars. I forgot to mention this. Sorry, so many things in my mind. And he bought the 5512 and he's delighted with it. And he knows it's from, Simone's stash of perfect vintage watches. So he sent the box there. Simone was a bit freaked out. He's like, hey, why are you getting mail to my store? I was like, I don't know. Who is it? I was like, oh, come over. So we were a bit perturbed at first, but then I was like, it's okay. He didn't ask me for my address, which no one can ask me, but he obviously saw your address online or whatever. But he sent us a box of cigars. Now Simone doesn't smoke, but he kept a few. I was like, keep a few. Maybe you'll have a good customer who buys a watch and you want to give them a gift or something. Keep them as gifts. And I took the rest of them home, and now I'm smoking one. So thank you, Alistair. And I'm glad you love your 5512. I do have the 5513 still here. This thing also belongs to Frollo. And it's pretty special, highly collectible for many reasons, but not least of which the bracelet is the original. Go find me a 5512 with the original bracelet. It's really hard to find. They always get replaced bracelets. So I'll stick this on. This is the sub, guys, the original and the best. It's like buying a 1955 Les Paul or a 1961 Chateau Lafite. Boom. 5512. You want to just reach out to me. Channel@gmail.com. It's not mine, it's his. He just decided that he's going to open his safe and let some of these classic vintage pieces go. He was wearing his 1655 earlier tonight. I don't think he wants to sell that. And if he does sell it, he better ask for like 25 G's for it, at least. A lot of people think that Steve McQueen was the Monaco and the 1655, but actually this is what Steve McQueen wore. This was his watch that he wore every day, and many others. Anyway, Alistair, if you're watching tonight or tomorrow or whatever, or over the weekend, thank you for the beautiful cigars, and I'm delighted you love your 5513. Darren Roberts, I'm currently wearing my 1971 Rolex Amariner 5513. Woo. Oh, I should clarify, this is 68, just in case anyone's wondering, and it has papers, service papers from 2007 from Rolex. My birth year watch, all original parts, full box and papers. Wow, Darren. Very nice. Yeah, that's extra special. RD, keep cigars. As a non-smoker, reminds me of the legendary movie Dead Man. You got tobacco? I used to have all sorts of smokes and cigars in my house in Brooklyn. I had a big wooden box and it had like every different kind of cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes. Never did. And tobacco and Rizlas for rolling, just for guests. It was like my thing. Like I had everything a guest would need. And I had weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't care. But I had weed in the house as well for those particular guests. The weed guys aren't into boozing somehow. You know, these guys who are heavy into weed, they never want a drink. They always want the weed. And then the drinkers are less interested in the weed. It's like a thing. It's one or the other. No, I did not have anything. I did not have any powder in the house, or I don't want to invite that disaster. But it was nice, like having somebody going, "Oh, I'd love a cigarette." I'm like, "What do you like to smoke?" "Oh, I like a Camel." "Oh yeah, here you go. There's a pack." It was just a courtesy thing. So yeah, now Simone has a few Cubans in the store. Just be that extra little pleasantry for his customers. It's great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weed and alcohol do not mix well. Yes, apparently so. Yes. Ray Ray has a 68 Seiko, his birth year watch. There you go, Ray Ray. You should buy yourself a 5512 from 1968. Anyone want to buy it for him? I think Ray Ray has earned it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also. What part of Ireland are you from? I'm from Limerick. Can you not tell? Is it? I got Americanized, right? I was 20 years in New York, man. I got Americanized a bit, didn't I? I can't help it. Sorry. I'll give you a clue though, because if you're from Limerick, you know accents. So I grew up around people talking like that. It was more like that kind of accents. You know what I mean? You wide, you wide to the accent about a certain kind of. I wouldn't call it a brogue. I wouldn't call it a fucking brogue. There's your clue. What are you guys talking about here? I missed a lot of the chat. You guys are looking at me like just bogging on, talking to myself, basically. And you're all just chatting among you just gather in the chat to have a chat with each other and leave wishing like talk to himself like a drunken fool. Which is fine, I guess. Luna Ranch 883. I want that watch. Willing to buy. Which one? This one? Hold on. 1116. It was a while ago. You want the Zelos thing? Or you want this? Or what do you want? I don't know which one. Sorry, I missed your comment, sir. Or you want one of the blue dial, stone dial? I don't know. Sorry, I missed your comment. Email me, ushinamalichannel@gmail.com. I don't know which one you want. This thing is fucking monumental. Jesus, that's a real sub. We can do a zoom in. I haven't done a zoom in. That's a fucking real sub right there. Look at that thing. Original bracelet. They replaced it with the fold over clasp, but this has the old one. All original parts. Nothing replaced. It's very important. I'd keep it myself, but I got loads of new watches. I don't need to be doing that. And it has the lovely bubble crystal or whatever it is. What is it? Hesselite? Guess it is. It's nice. I still have the Piaget if anyone wants it. Although I looked at that video last week about that Piaget, I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize this thing is so special. I knew it was special, but I didn't realize how special. It's here as well. Look, I have them in plastic. I'm like a seller on 47th Street, right? With the plastic. I'm gonna flip this watch. I'm trying to make $500. Keeps going to see the same people over and over again. It's crazy. Yeah, this is was the slimmest watch slimmest mechanical watch in the world. I think it's still the slimmest mechanical automatic self-winding watch. It may have been outdone by another Piaget watch. And I was over with the boys earlier because some straps company sent me a bunch of straps. Watch innovation straps. They sent me a bunch. I got a load of them in the mail today. And this one caught my eye. I love the way Brits say that. This one caught my eye. This red alligator one. It's not red. And I was like, can I put this on one of my nice gold watches? Will it work? So I brought it over to the fellas at Frollo. They were like, because Italians are very opinionated about style. They're like, oh, a red strap. Ugh. I was like, it ain't that bad. Come on. They're like, you really want to put a red strap? I was like, you guys wear fucking reading glasses that are red framed. What the fuck are you? Shut up. Leave me alone. So I was like asking them, would it work on the Piaget? Because the Piaget, I mean, there's a fucking amazing alligator reel. I mean, this is high level. This is way higher level than this. But I was like, would it work? Like, just throw it on for a week or two? You guys tell me. Would that work? Red. Look at my filthy nail. That's disgusting. What happened? I hate that. I hate dirty nails. Freaks me out. With the red, doesn't look very red here because it's so dark in this studio. I mean, the original strap is incredible. Anyway, this is the Piaget. If anybody wants to buy it. And it has a full sticker on the back. I want 8,500. Cheapest one you'll find on Chrono is 11,000, I think. Roca have one in Rome for 22. I only want 85. It doesn't have boxer papers. But it's gorgeous. And look how thin it is. Look how fucking thin. Will that focus? No. Oh well. Let me get it to focus like that. So it's a funny kind of dress watch because it's on the front. It's super minimal dressy. And then on the back, it's like kind of thing. I'll stick it on. It's for the bigger guy. It's not for a dainty wrist, okay? I don't have a dainty wrist. You guys know that. But, you know, some of us bigger lads, we have trouble finding a nice dress watch because, like a Calatrava or a vintage Omega or something, they're all fucking tiny, look like little buttons. It makes you feel fat and stupid. But I'll put this one on, you'll see. I have an 8-inch wrist. Just send the time. 11:46. Very legible. I love that about dress watches. They're so simple and clean. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Fucking rose gold. It's nice. What was that guy who said he wanted the watch? Which one did he say? Did he clarify? Did I miss that? Just email me, man. Whichever one you want. I just helped my friend out here. I'm helping 2 friends, actually. Let me put some more flame on this cigar. How weird is my channel? How weird are my lives? They're so not like see channels doing lives. It's like you got invited to some weird guy's house. And he tied you up in the corner and he's forcing you to listen to his musings. Aaron, hey. Romeo and Julieta #2 is as smooth as silk. Well, you would say that it is. Well, you would say that because you're used to Toscanas. That's my fault. I got you into Toscanas. That's like getting you into, I don't know, core drumming or something before real drumming, or I don't know, something bizarre. Toscanas are brutal, hardcore. Some old men in Italy smoke. You're coming off Toscanas into real cigars. And you're like, wow, this is actually not murdering me. How strange. You know what'll happen, Aaron? Then the end. Try not to make it too wet with your, hold it with your teeth. You puff with your lips. Never hold it between your lips. You don't do this. The cigar, if you want to hold it in your face, you should hold it in your fingers. But if you need to hold it in your face, you hold it with your teeth. Always. And then you puff. Try not to ruin the end. Because trust me, dude, that last inch is going to be sugar. With great cigars, they give you the nicest kiss on their way out the door. That's what they all do. It's terrible. Makes you want to light up a second one. That's what happens. This part inch or so just gets very fucking sweet. All of a sudden you're not smoking anymore. You're like licking chocolate or something. It's amazing. Mark, time's up for Keir Starmer, Mandelson, Epstein. Yeah, well, if Starmer gets booted, it'll be because of Mandelson. Mandelson is guilty as hell, and we don't believe a fucking word he says. You know what happens to a lot of these guys? They're fucking ugly. They're losers. They're simps. They couldn't get a nice, good-looking girl if they fucking tried. So they wind up going into positions of power, politics or whatever. And that's their way in. You know? That's how they get to be with young, beautiful. I mean, people give Leonardo DiCaprio a hard time because he keeps dating 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds. But at least they're 22, 23. They're actually legal. That's well legal. Okay. And he's very he's a handsome fella. He's very, very talented. No one can say that Leonardo DiCaprio can't act. That guy can act. He can really act. When he did when he was young, he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Everybody thought that was a handicapped kid that they cast. They were convinced it wasn't. And he's a fucking super gazillionaire. And if you're dating him, you're going to be flying around the world in private jets and on yachts and spending the weekend in fucking Saint-Tropez and shit. Like, you'll have the best fucking time of your life. So if you're 22 years old and you're a hot girl, and this 50-year-old man, if his name is Leonardo DiCaprio, you might consider dating a 50-year-old man because there's a lot of perks. 50 isn't 80. He can still perform in bed and shit like that. So I don't really care. When fucking Megyn Kelly says Epstein he wasn't really a pedo. He was into the barely legal. They weren't barely legal. Barely legal is just over 18. It was 19 or 20. That's barely. They were completely illegal. They were kids. Megyn Kelly needs to be fucking shot. That bitch is like, oh my God, spews such heinous crap. A 15-year-old girl is not barely legal. A 17-and-a-half-year-old girl is not barely. Barely legal is legal barely. As in 18 and a half, 19. 17 and a half is not legal, not even barely. You're under arrest. You're going to jail, you pig. Fuck is wrong with these guys? I can't figure it out. I like women. I'm a fucking heterosexual male. I'm a red-blooded. I like a short skirt and long legs. I like all the stuff that you all like. Okay. You push out some 15-year-old girl in front of me, I'll be like, do you want to watch cartoons? Like, I'd be stuck. I'd be like, there's nothing. I don't see anything sexual there. I'm sorry. In 10 or 12 years, you'll have a big, beautiful ass and a pair of boobs. Then give me a call, or whatever. Like, come on, guys. What are you doing? What the fuck are they doing? That's wild to me. And I suppose it should be wild, because if it wasn't wild, if it wasn't very confusing to me, then I'd be a broken machine too, right? Beve, the UK government is unstable now. Well, the UK is unstable. UK is unstable. Those protests, some of the Palestine Action were released. Some of them, not all of them. Not the ones on hunger strike. But I saw the video where they break into that building and they have sledgehammers and stuff. And they attack the security personnel there. It's a moral dilemma, isn't it? I mean, the security personnel are just doing their job, right? They've got to protect. But what are they protecting? They're protecting weapons that are going to be used to kill little brown kids in tents. I don't know. If you just change all the uniforms for a minute and put like SS fucking uniforms on those guys, then the pity begins to flush down the toilet. It's like, I don't care what you think you're doing, you're protecting war crimes. So but yeah, the UK is in a rough spot. Keir Starmer is fucking useless. Fucking useless. I dislike, and hard right wingers dislike him for completely different reasons. Fine. If you're in the UK now and you say, I support Palestine Action, you're under arrest. They have arrested thousands, old women and some people in wheelchairs. They're like, fuck, well, I guess we gotta. I feel bad for some of the cops because they're like, oh God, this job is worse than I thought it would be. Now we got to arrest these people. This 86-year-old woman going, I support Palestine Action because I feel bad for the kids in Gaza. You're under arrest, darling. You're going to spend your night in the tombs. You'll be arraigned in the morning. It's messed up. It's so fucked up. Oh, God. Mark in Brooklyn is coming in hard. Sorry, man. I didn't. Eyes wide shut. Stanley Kubrick. Yes. It has become a central point of various conspiracy theory. I mentioned it earlier, man. You're late to the show. Apparently, his 20 minutes cut out. He's trying to let everyone know. But still, do we need to see the other 20 minutes that were deleted? If they were, we can see it in the movie. In the one that was released, we can already see it. Following the exposure of Jeffrey Epstein crimes, many viewers reinterpreted the film as unintentional prophecy. Yeah. Yeah. Chelsea, he needs to go. Earlier election might sort out aliens on boats coming into UK. Chelsea, are you the kind of person who's do you object to foreign people coming into a country on boats? Because you know who are the best at that in the world. You know how the Indians felt when they saw British boats coming. They don't assimilate to our really. What did the British do across the entire world? They arrived on shores in boats, uninvited, and imposed their imperial realm on the natives. You're the best at it. Amazing. Remember this: if you leave your country on a boat and you escape, that means the country you're in was terrible. If you jump, if you push your kids out on a boat into the sea towards somewhere else, that means the sea is safer than the land. That means you're desperate. Now, some countries didn't have a problem with that idea, and that one of those was a beacon of that embrace of the desperate and the hopeless and the hungry was the United States. That's how the fucking country was built. You'd never know that now from the way they're behaving. I think it's hilarious. They're like that. They're coming into our country and they're not adopting our way of life. What? Excuse me. What? Did I hear that correctly? They're supposed to adopt your first of all, what is your way of life? Fish and chips and the match at the weekend? Like, what fucking culture do you have of your own? Zero. Borrowed it from the entire world. Even your great artists, the Beatles are all fucking Irish, most of them. McCartney, is that a British name? Paul McCartney, Oasis, Liam Gallagher, that's an Irish name. Gallagher. There is no assimilating. The melting pot is the beautiful part, that you can go to London and eat some of the greatest Indian food in the world, etc., etc. Shut the fuck up. Christ. Coming over on boats, yeah. They learned from the best, didn't they? Fuck me. You see somebody get on a fucking boat coming across, they're lost. They're lost. And they're coming over to try to find salvation. That's what they're doing. They're desperate. And they're probably desperate because of some fucking war that you started years earlier with their country. The humanity, man, is just drained out. If I see some family walking down the street in the rain, my instinct is like, oh, are you guys okay? Do you want to come in the warm? Do you need food? It's astonishing to me that some people would be like, I don't want you here. You're going to take my job. Different kinds of humans. It's like the pedos. I don't understand them. I can't wrap my head around a person. I'm going to play you guys a thing that goes around the internet right now. There's a guy who set up a hotline in the States for anti-immigration. He set up a hotline like, if you see somebody who you think is an immigrant, call this hotline. It's fake. It's just him. But people are calling it. People are calling the hotline and he's recording it. And it's literally the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. And there's one going around that's really bad. So this guy, this is one where he goes, I have my own hotline. And a kindergarten teacher calls in. Are you ready for this?
I have my own hotline for reporting illegal immigrants, and people call it thinking that it's legitimate. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that wants to deport the parents of a kindergartner at her school. And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, It's very odd.
What did you say was odd?
It's just odd for them to even be here. Like, I'm a teacher at a school. Okay. I know schools. I know the whole law about schools. I mean, they seem like nice people or whatever, but I looked them up.
They seem like nice people or whatever.
She was born in Honduras and he's born in El Salvador. So right there, it's like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. They drop off their kid every day.
So their kid is their kid a student at your school?
Yes. Yeah,
One of your
kindergarten.
okay, so now you want to get his parents deported?
Well, I'm just saying that if they're taking up resources from our county,
Okay.
I'm not into illegal people being here.
I mean, if the son's in kindergarten, what, 6 or 7,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's probably like 5 or 6.
And he was born in New York, so that means assuming like they've been in America for 6 or 7 years,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna go ahead and just remove them.
Are you like questioning that, or what do you know?
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm just writing this down for my own
Okay.
personal notes, and my supervisor
Okay.
teaches at school wants kindergarten child's parents
You
deported.
make it sound terrible. You make it sound like it's terrible, but
Oh, well, I'm just writing down what you're
Yeah.
telling me.
okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Sounds terrible. So I can write that down too, I guess. And that's Hispanic in an area where you wouldn't normally see Hispanics. Okay.
This fucking bitch calls in to report some fucking family. I don't know. I need a fucking sledgehammer. I'll tell you, if I get a diagnosis, like the doctor tells me, oh, your pancreas is given or your liver, you've got 6 months, you're all fucked. You're all in trouble, man. If I have 6 months to live, I'll be like, oh, fuck, I'm going out anyway. I'm going out with a fucking flamethrower. I'm going to find all these cunts and set them on fire and watch them fucking scream as they race down the street in front of their crying mothers. I swear to God. I just be like, fuck you, you wankers, you assholes. Where is your humanity? This is a kindergarten teacher. And the kid is like 6 years old. And, oh, I don't know if they're legal. Yeah, you're not fucking legal either. You all stole the country from fucking native Indians. You shitheads. You're not fucking legal either. Oh my God. Karens. I swear, you all better be. You should start calling my doctors immediately. Even if he's terminally ill, don't tell him he is. Because we don't want him arriving in the middle of the night. I don't want to wake up and see him slit my throat and fucking smother my wife in the middle of the night. I'd be on a 6-month spree of venom. I'd be like, oh, this is all I got to do now. I may as well go out with a bang. It's awesome. Just incredible ignorance and racism. I don't know. But anyway, some guy was talking about illegal boats. Some guy in my audience. Can you imagine some guy in my audience with that attitude? Fuck. Relaxing, a good Fenian. Yeah, I should carry on the ways of my ancestors. Go flying in with a hatchet. I'm calling in just to see if they might be illegals. It bothers me. Doesn't fucking change your life in any way whatsoever. They're probably nicer fucking people than you cunt. They probably cook better food than you do. And you probably order it every weekend when you're drunk on a few gin and tonics. Karen. Right? Oh my God. It's a brilliant way for the rich to make you see the wrong enemy. Somehow, what's the quote? Somehow, the guy who makes $700 an hour convinced the guy who makes $70 an hour that the guy making $7 an hour is the enemy. I mean, if you're gonna fucking call in on people, you're gonna go after someone, you have to go after the pedophile billionaires and the people who are charging you too much for medication that you need to live. These are the people that should be in your focus. But unfortunately, those same circles of people own the media, and they tell you, no, the problem is the little Indian family down the street. They're the enemy. How you fall for it is my question. That's my question. What the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, there's John and Richard. The voice of fucking reason. And by the way, you should subscribe to his Substack, John. Oh, it's in my history. It just comes straight up. Look at that, John. Yeah, if you want the fucking voice of American reason, because actually, here's the truth: Americans are very smart people, and they're tuned in. They're not stupid. It's the stupid ones that are giving them a bad name right now, and it's very fucking frustrating. So, if you want some intelligent discourse, go over to johnlrichard.substack.com. He's been a guest on my channel many times. And just if you need hope, or if you're not in the United States and your feelings are bubbling up inside you that Americans are all bad people, they're not. They're just as frustrated as you are. So anyway, what did John say? Sorry, I went on a little rant there. It's getting late. I've got to go over to Dirk soon. What did John say? I can't even. Where is he? There he is. Working on an article about Epstein and his connections to intelligence. I might need a drink after. Well, the thing about John and people like him, there's some of us that are very emotive. We get upset and we go, oh, they're all bastards, whatever. And then you have others who go, oh, okay, slow down. Maybe there is a bastard here. But let's look at the facts. Let's look at hard facts. What can we prove? What can't we prove? What's hearsay? What isn't? These are the kinds of people who should be in government. When Alex Pretty was shot, Kristi Noem went straight on TV going, oh, he's a domestic terrorist. Like, you didn't even say, we're looking into it. We're investigating. It will take time. We don't know the details yet. We're gathering our information. This is called a discovery process. It's part of the legal system. No, straight on. Oh, now you know you're dealing with fucking maniacs. This is why we drink, guys. Here's the good news. Here's the good news. There's lots of cigars and there's lots of booze. So don't worry. You'll get to sleep tonight. There's a pathway. I'll show you. Come with me. Ray said Dirk started. Okay, I'll go over to Dirk in a minute. Travis Watts, the stupid ones are a small minority, however, unfortunately garner the greatest share of attention. It's true. You are right, Travis. Thank you. And if all Americans were like you, we wouldn't have any issues, would we? There's a great phrase. Squeaky wheels get the most oil. I don't believe that most Americans want to turn in people. Illegals. What's it? Illegals. Illegals. What are you talking about? Illegals. Like they committed some crazy crime. once the word legal gets in there, you go, oh, they did something illegal. They came over a border without papers. They'd love papers. If you offered them papers, they wouldn't say, no, we don't want those. We want to remain. They'd be like, oh my God, thanks so much. That's exactly what we need. You know, he's cleaning toilets in McDonald's for fat Americans every night. And she's scrubbing floors in a deli. And her kids are going to this public school that we're struggling here. You know, that's the story for most of these people. But technically, they don't have their paperwork in order. I love when they go along and arrest people at the courthouse. That's my favorite one, by the way. Never mind, like doing an Alex Pretty or what was the woman's name? Yeah, it escapes me. I'm drinking. It's late. You know, on the street while they're making an arrest. Go along to the courthouses where people are actually arriving with their paperwork, arriving with their information, trying to get the paperwork pushed through, going through the legal process and getting picked up by ICE right there. That's the most heinous one of the lot, if you ask me. They're trying their best. You know how many illegals I know in New York? I always had my visa and all. I'm lucky. We always had our paperwork, and I was on a very privileged visa. For many years, I was on a P1. You can look it up. I was on a P1, and then I was on an O1. An O1 visa. You want to look that up? It'll send shivers to your spine because you'll begin to question whether you should even be there or not. An O1 is a very difficult thing to get from Homeland Security, I can tell you that. They need to decide that they'd rather have you inside their country than elsewhere. Scientists and extraordinary talent get O1s. But I know tons of people, Irish, mostly Irish, because, you know a lot of Irish in New York, who overstayed their visa and they're there years later. My hairdresser, she was the loveliest girl from Cork in Ireland. She overstayed her visa for years. She wouldn't go anywhere. I'd be like, oh, you should go fly out to the West Coast. It's great fun. No, I don't want to. She doesn't want to go through an airport. She's terrified of getting sick. She eventually, I believe she married a guy. And then, of course, you can put the paperwork through. The whole time, terrified. An Irish girl in New York, terrified. Her fucking city was built on immigrants from Ireland. Come on. Anyway. Don't get the word illegal is, it makes you think that's illegal. You know what's illegal? Flying 14-year-old, 13-year-old children out to an island and raping them. And then when they get pregnant, threatening to kill them or killing their newborn baby. That's fucking illegal. And that prick runs your country now. Well done. Please and thank you. Hey, you're usually in the chat along. You haven't said anything yet. I mean, that's Stephen Miller's stuff. The dude is ideologically essentially just a Nazi. Stephen Miller basically repeated a whole Nazi speech recently on a podium, by the way, if you want to look it up. You know what your answer is? Have you ever seen Stephen Miller standing next to anyone? and it explains everything. First of all, he's ugly as sin. But Stephen Miller is about 4'11". He's the shortest person I've ever seen in my life. If you look up photos of Stephen Miller walking next to other people, then you go, that's what it is. There it is. Short man syndrome, man. Be very careful of it. They hate God and they hate the world for what they did to them. And they want to take it out on the rest of us. Be very careful with short people. They fucking hate everyone. And they're out to make us suffer. All of right-wing politics is underpinned by strong elements of white supremacy. Well, there's a faction of them, yes, I would agree, but not all of them. Some of the smartest people I know are conservatives, so nothing to do with crime. Shorter than Starmer, that's short PM. Is Starmer short? There you go. There it is. Short and ugly. Oh my God. They're born short and ugly. They asked the girl out to the dance. She said no. And now they're fucking taking it out on us. That's what's happening. I shit you not. Small man syndrome. What did Robin Williams say? Never get in a fight with an ugly guy. He's got nothing to lose. While we scoff at the supermodels and the film stars, they're probably the nicest people you'll come across because they don't have a gripe with God and they don't have a gripe with the world. They won the lottery. They're 6 foot tall and skinny and beautiful. And they don't hate anyone. They may be fucking assholes, but they're not dangerous. And there's a difference. I trust pretty people more than I trust ugly people. Because ugly people have a terrible, terrible thing that happens to them every day. And it's called the mirror. They get out of bed every day and there's that predictable disappointment that makes their day dull all day long. And by God, they're here to make us all pay for it. I'm getting hardcore. I better go over to fucking Dirk to save me from worse stuff. Otherwise, I'm fucked. It's Napoleon syndrome, right? Meanwhile, historically, it turns out that maybe Napoleon wasn't short at all, but the terminology stuck. He wanted to conquer the world because he's 5 foot. It's the same in the animal kingdom. Which is the loudest dog? You go to a dog park and you have all different dogs of different sizes and breeds. Which is the loudest, most pain in everyone's ass? It's the little fucker who keeps barking at everyone, right? The big dogs are all dopey and big and slow and content. It's the little bastard looking up at everyone that has the most to say. It's the same fucking thing. We're just animals, guys. That's all we are. We have opposable thumbs. Good for us. And we have developed brains and we can invent shit and we can do some good things, certainly. But we're just animals. And the truth is we behave quite like them. More than we should admit. Daniel, my ego is small. Always keep your ego small. Battle your ego. Isn't that what Joni Mitchell said? Do you surgeon? Amen. Member for 2 months. Thank you, brother. All right. Let me get the link for Dirk. I'll go over to him. Before I dig myself into even bigger holes here and get more drunk and things get sloppy, Dirk will save me. He's like my The antidote. He's the Ocean antidote. Please and thank you. We are but bald apes obsessed with shiny things. Don't insult the apes. They're nice. They have good. The ape world and the gorilla world and so they have nice family values. We're like awful. Ego. You know what? Daniel said it. Ego. Once there's ego, you're screwed. Ego ruins everything. There is the link. You can't click on the screen. You have to go into the chat. Some of you will be popped over automatically. Thanks for listening to me yell. I did say I was going to put on the Vacheron, but I'll put it on now for the eye bashers. I also have the Panerai. If anybody wants one of those watches, they're the ones on oceanvalleychannel.com. And then the other special ones are, just email me and we can figure it out. And I want a box of cigars, just like the other guy. No, I'm kidding. But it was a very nice gesture. Listen to the wind of the Vacheron just to get you guys moist. Ooh, baby. All right. I'll see you guys over there with Dirk. Good talk. See you guys soon. Peace, love.